everyone, my name is Blair Cinta. Welcome to Cinta Sounds. And today I have for you 6 reasons why your Piccolo Snare is not just for the 80s. My particular drum that I own here is I believe it's a 1920s brass, probably formerly chrome over brass, 3x14. And I love this drum. And some of the great things about Piccolo Snares is, well, of course, the ring that they get. And these days, a lot of times recording, it gets a bad rap. But I think if you can utilize that in a musical way, it's a real cool sound. Another thing is, because the drum is so shallow, any piccolo that is, you get great snare response with ghost notes and things like that. In the particular case of this drum, and I'm sure a lot of others out there, is the tuning range is actually quite diverse. Of course, it does high and ringy very well, and there's a variety of sounds in the high and ringy that are very usable. Plus, it goes lower, and the dry kind of dead sounds you can get out of this are pretty great. You can get a fat tone, not as fat as like a 6.5 or even a 5, but you can get pretty down there. Okay, so here's 2 examples. They're in the exact same tuning, and one is with rim shots and one is without rim shots. You'll hear in the example with rim shots that it has kind of a nasty bark to it. It's like it really speaks, and it's a really cool sound. Probably kind of the typical sound you would think of with a brass piccolo snare drum. In the second example, same beat, same groove, same tempo, no rim shots. The sound is a little warmer, a little fatter. Still has a great crisp sound to it. The ghost notes are still there. And 2 super viable sounds in the exact same tuning. They both, one sounds kind of nasty and loud, and one sounds warmer, and it's still a brass piccolo snare drum in a pretty high tuning, but pretty useful. So in this example, I'm really trying to utilize the ring of the snare, also with both sticks, partly because maybe where I'm hitting it in the drum, or actually I have the stick turned around here, there's actually 2 different pitches kind of coming out of the ring. I'm trying to utilize that in the groove. So one of the really cool things, again, about a metallic drum, brass drum, cranked up like this, is utilizing that ring and making it musical, not just kind of an annoying statement in the sound of your drums. So utilize the ring. Piccolo snares, that's one of the things they kind of are cursed about, but if we use it in a musical way, it can be a super cool thing. So check this sound out. Alright, so this is one of my favorite kind of go-to sounds with this Piccolo Snare. It seems to work really well with this particular drum. Maybe it's a slightly smaller sound coming from the drum, and these really seem to resonate. But I actually don't know what these are called either, but producer I was just working with referred them to goat toenails. So I'm going to go with that. Put the goat toenails on here. And so the pitch is the same. I haven't touched the pitch of this drum yet, but this really dries up the drum, plus you get some residual effect from these bouncing off. So here's the sound without the snare. You can see them kind of bouncing off there. When you turn the snares on, you can get the same thing. So you can hear how the drum is drier. There's pretty much no ring to it, but I haven't taken any of the brightness out of it through the dampening, which is really cool. You still get kind of the spank, the real character of the drum, plus these things bouncing off. I just love this sound. It's got a sampled kind of weird thing to it. It's super useful. So let's check this sound out. Alright, so for this example, I tuned the drum down kind of mid-medium range. It's wide open, no dampening, still trying to utilize the ring, the real character of this drum. The touch is always great on this. You'll hear that with a little kind of ghost notes after the 2 and 4. And then I'm hitting the backbeat in the groove with no rim shots, and then I'm trying to utilize rim shots in the fills, partly so you hear the character difference, but also because it's a cool sound to bring out once in a while. And with a slower groove like this, I would tend to go for like the kind of fatter sound in the middle, although the rim shot part is super useful. So again, trying to go for that slightly fatter sound in the middle. Just for the groove and the sound of the groove. All right, so check this one out. Alright, so for this example, I tuned it down to about as low as it sounded good. And then I put this towel on it to help dry it up. So, really trying to get rid of the ring. And again, because of the shallow depth of the drum, I'm really getting a nice snare touch from it. But it's low and dry now. So this is almost like to me it's almost like a kind of electronic-esque sound. It's pretty cool. Check it out. All right, so I think you get the idea with this drum. It's super versatile. Don't just think of it as, you know, a high and ringy snare. Often, you know, if I pull this out at a session or something, you know, I see the eyes widen and people think like, oh man, what's he thinking? What's, you know, not a brass piccolo snare. But as I've shown here, it's really versatile. It's super useful in a lot of ways. So don't be afraid if you have one of these sitting around that you maybe haven't touched in a while. Maybe rethink it and check it out. Dive into it. Make it work for you. As always, thanks for checking out this video. Please subscribe. Please share. That's the best way to help me grow my channel, is sharing it to friends, drummers, engineers, producers, whoever you think it may be useful to. And, you know, head on over to my website. I'm always available for tracking songs, and I'm also available to give lessons here in Los Angeles or through Skype. Take care. Thanks.